Well, the time comes when she shows the signs of adulthood, which means the pubic hair. So she actually comes out earlier, before the 6 years, before the 7th year is up started. So again, there's a lot of mitzvot related to that. Again, as we said yesterday, this mitzvah of acquiring and selling Jewish servants, maidservant or a man, only applicable at the time of when there is Yovel, when there is Yovel mitzvah of in Israel, and all the Jewish people are in Israel concentrated, for the majority of the Jewish people. And somebody, chas v'shalom, did not fulfill this mitzvah. He did not get married to the maidservant and did not marry her to his son. Lo kiyem mitzvah zo. He did not fulfill God's command, mitzvah number 43. Aval en lekufo lefi adome ala kiyum zo mitzvah. However, we are actually not allowed to force him to fulfill this mitzvah. It's a choice. Shaharei katuv sham bifirush, because the Torah tells us, and if he doesn't want to do any of those three things to her, he must set her free. The Torah did not compel him to fulfill this mitzvah. It's up to the person's will. It's up to the person's heart. If the guy, again, we're talking about, as we said, wealthy people have different mindset and they have different ideas in this world. And in this case, since the whole point is for her to be liked by him, and unfortunately, if there was no liking, even though he has to know that that's what Hashem wants. But let's say not everybody understands what Hashem wants, not everybody agrees with what Hashem wants, and therefore it's still his choice, therefore he cannot be forced. Okay, and the Torah tells us, again, he has to understand that this is what Hashem wants, and Hashem is going to give a special blessing for him and for his family because of that attribute, because of that a concept of of him marrying this poor person and making a big big effect on her and obviously her family. A rich son-in-law, rich father-in-law. It's a big bracha that will help this poor person, maybe even to accomplish his goals that Hashem set for this poor person from the beginning of creation. Mitzvah number 44. Mitzvah pidyon amah hebriya. As we said over here, that in this case, if the Torah tells us that against Shemot chapter 21 pasuk ched, if he doesn't want to marry her, he has to set her free. As we already said, that he has to marry her, and if he doesn't want to marry her, set her free. Well, again, the best time, what is the Kohen Gadol? Kohen. The best wife for Kohen, we already learned earlier, and especially Kohen Gadol, has to be under 12 years old. Why? Because she is free from having, and we discussed already that mitzvah, where it says that he should marry a virgin, that he should have a wife that has zero ideas from outside. Same thing here. We have this girl. She is in a family, and if there's there is a boy, 12, 13 years old, and now she would actually know this mitzvah, and she will have her heart keen to this boy, and in the end, there is no marriage. How is she going to get married to somebody else? So again, the father has to decide quickly after acquiring this maidservant, and quickly acquire and decide if there's going to be marriage, keep her and marry her. That's not. If not, it's tzedakah. Send her back to her father, okay, and free her. And that's the mitzvah 44. If the marriage is not something that's going to work out, then he has to send her free, and Hashem will give him a blessing. Besides, the fact is, if he will marry her, that's what Hashem wants. He has to understand that that's what Hashem wanted. It happened that he acquired her, or whatever the purpose was. His wife needed help, or whatever it was. He still has to understand this is what Hashem wants. So the purpose of this, what Hashem wants, is telling you, mitzvah 43 and 44, that you have to marry her. If not, set her free. And it's a big mitzvah. If you marry her, you're going to have great children. And if chas v'shalom, you don't want to marry her, set her free. You don't want her to be a loose cannon in the street. Look at all those women. Unfortunate feminists in this world. They're evil. A woman that does not have a husband, that thinks that she doesn't need a husband, she's an evil person. As we said, the Torah tells us that, you see, Chava, She thought that the world was created for her, and she took over charge. She took over charge of the world, and she forced Adam to eat from the Etz Hadat, from the tree of knowledge, and it came a calamity, as we already said. A woman has a lot of power. That's why, who helps others? Only the one who could help. If Hashem says, I'm going to create an individual who will be helping her husband, a man, that's a woman. She has to help her husband to become more observant and learn Torah, and because nothing could be achieved without her in that respect. As mentioned earlier, a rabbi without a wife is nothing in this world. He's not allowed to be a rabbi, or he's not even there's no succession. He's not allowed to be called a rabbi in the Gemara time. So we understand that it's very important that we get married. So a woman has to know that. That's her tafkid, that's her job. But if chas v'shalom, a woman is not married, that is the worst thing in the world. All those feminists, the movement from 1960s in America and all over the world, destroy the world. That was the purpose why Charles Schwab, Henry Kissinger, and all this feminist business was started. The purpose was to destroy a family unit. A woman is the family unit. She has that power. A woman has the power to be the family unit. And what does she do? What does she do? No, we don't need men. The unfortunate thing, there's a woman getting pregnant from sperm banks. Shem Rachem, God forbid. That's not what you were created. And you were not created to be single and just working a whole day and that's it, you're living your life off. You're created to help your man to become, to have Yirat Shamayim in this world, to fear God, not to be his servant, to be his helper, because that's the power you have. As Hava said to Hashem, please kill me. I have so much power, I'm going to control the man, I'm going to destroy man. So Hashem says, no, my daughter, you don't understand me. If you're reading the Torah, Chas v'shalom, as a curse, you're reading something wrong. Something's wrong with the way that we've been taught in our youth, that God forbid, cursed the woman. It's not true. God gave a blessing to the woman. He gave her a blessing, and he gave her an idea how the world will survive. How? Take counsel from your husband. Vehuim Sholbach, does that mean he will rule you? He will counsel you. For a Shalom Bayit to be a real peaceful life in this world, we have to understand the woman has to she has to want. She has to want and urge her husband to counsel her and give her that opportunity. So that's what the purpose of marriage. And over here, if a man does not want to marry his maidservant, he's advised to send her free, so she should get married with LaHaShem and have a healthy and good marriage. Have a wonderful day.